smile. Anybody that know him gonna tell you, all he did was smile. He was a happy person. He loved helping the elderly, loved feeding people, taking care of other people's children if he could, you know. And a father of a 7-year-old daughter. So he was well loved.
Here we go.
Let's fix our step.
Let's fix our step.
Here we go.
A group of people have come here to Taylorsville to demand answers for what's happened to Rasheem Carter. He went missing over 6 months ago, and it was a month later that parts of his body were found in a field nearby to here. Now, the family and a lot of black people here in the community think that this was a murder, and that murder was racially motivated. There's also a lot of suspicion about the role of law enforcement here. So people are here to demand an outside investigation of this case and to demand answers for what happened to Rasheem Carter.
I want to thank everybody here today for standing with us in unity and solidarity. This has really been a struggle for our family, but we're going to do the best we can to fight to get the justice that we deserve to have. That's right.
Rasheem Carter's case is complicated, and there's a lot we don't know. What we do know is that last September, Carter traveled to Taylorsville for a short-term contract job at a chemical plant. He was staying at a hotel about 30 minutes outside of town. On October 1st, Carter texted his mother, saying there was a truck full of white men following him and shouting racial slurs, and that he was scared. His mother told him to make an official report with the police department, which he did. He also asked the police for a ride back to his hotel because he felt unsafe. But the police refused, saying that it was outside of their jurisdiction. This is where the timeline gets fuzzy. It's unclear where Carter spent the night, but early the next morning, he returned to the police again to ask to borrow a phone charger. Police said they didn't have a charger that would work with his phone, but suggested he buy one at the Family Dollar. With his phone battery at 1%, he texted his mother his location, and she sent a friend to pick him up. But by the time they arrived, Carter was gone. The next day, October 2nd, the family went to Taylorsville PD and filed a missing persons report. Days went by without news, so they called the Sheriff's Department of Smith County, of which Taylorsville is a part, and asked if they had seen Rasheem Carter. The Sheriff's Department said no one had told them he was missing, and that this was the first they'd heard of it, 3 days after the initial report, and it seemed no one was looking for him. Another 3 days went by, and the police didn't have anything, so the family drove into town to look on their own. They went to one of the stores in the area that Carter had last texted from, and asked if they had any surveillance footage. The employees handed the footage over. Then the family asked if they'd also given this same footage to the police. They were told that police had never even asked for it. Almost a month later, a property owner in Taylorsville alerted law enforcement that he'd found an image of someone on his deer cam that he didn't recognize. Taylorsville police took dogs to search the area, and then stated they'd found remains they believed were Carter's in a wooded area just outside of Taylorsville. Only a skull and some fragments of a vertebrae remained. Official documents from the case seemed to suggest that trauma to the bones indicated some sort of injury, but the cause of death was listed as undetermined. The report also indicated that animals may since have eaten some of the remains. Once the remains were located, Smith County Sheriff's Department almost immediately said in a Facebook post that they didn't suspect foul play. They would later backtrack on this, saying that they hadn't ruled it out. The family did suspect that this was a murder, and felt that law enforcement were not making an effort to find the person responsible.